Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is the big question, the show that gives you too much information on how you can catch a case of the big old green meansies from an infected family member. And I'm not talking about the flu. Oh no, it's a different kind of green meansies. My name is MT and I'm here today. I'm so happy that my brother Tommy Bechtold is back. Big head gang all
Yes! The prison system can't keep me down for long. I'm a free man, baby, and here we go.
Hey! Yo, I was wearing my Free My Dude Tommy shirts for months.
You guys can get those Free My Dude Tommy shirts on my website. It's on the dark web. And, you know, you got to have a VPN, which we may talk about later or may not. I don't know what the ads are today.
Listen, all the allegations of Tommy hacking into the Pentagon are false. Okay.
Yeah, I hacked into the Pentagram, which is an S&M club in New York City, based on satanic worship. And by the way, it wasn't much on their website, just some links to some NFTs. So, which of course stands for not fun torture in the old S&M game.
So hit me with that big question, Tommy.
You got it, baby boy. Disney Plus Day gave us our first look at the new She-Hulk series, coming to the streaming platform next year. In the clip, we see Jennifer Walters interacting with Smart Hulk in what looks like it could be the mysterious Gamma Lab.
That's where they make all their rap albums, the Gamma
That's
Lab.
right.
Let's go.
In the Gamma Lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn green off because the stable off.
Oh! I love that.
White man know all the words to Eminem songs.
He's white man Jesus, of course you do.
Even though that was a Dr. Dre lyric. All right, anyway, are they insinuating that She-Hulk got her powers from Bruce Banner? It all leads us to this week's big question, which is, how exactly are the Hulk's powers transferred to other people?
Yep, it's totally. This is the perfect opportunity for this question because of She-Hulk. I mean,
that's right.
She just got her powers. How did she get empowered? Can those powers be passed on to other people? Well, I think it's time to make like Bruce Banner and put a scientific mind to the methodology behind creating a Hulk. And as the Hulk family begins to grow in the MCU, because, you know, we got Helen Cho already in the MCU, and she's Amadeus Cho's mom. So Amadeus Cho's coming. The comics have shown us many different versions of the Hulk over the years, and as well as a whole group of people who have the ability to Hulk out.
Hulk out. Bruce. Damn.
Hulk make tea. That's my favorite, is English Professor Hulk.
I hope it's chamomile tea because it has very calming properties.
Sleepy time tea for Hulk.
Sleepy.
Hulk hold teddy bear and go night-night.
Hulk put on nightcap.
Hulk hates sleeping alone since wife died. I forgot to tell you that English Professor Hulk is a grieving widower.
I mean, of course, his husband was Tony Stark. So,
That's right.
Duh.
Yes.
They were science bros. That was his only friend, closest companion. Anyway, but how is Hulk able to share his powers? Can anyone potentially become a Hulk? Well, let's take a look at what we know from the films and the comics and see what we can, figure out Hulk style, just a Hulk investigation, Hulk hypotheses. Well, of course, let's tackle the Gamma Lab that you mentioned, Tommy, because it's very important. In Endgame, when we first meet Smart Hulk, we learn that Bruce and Hulk were able to come to a truce thanks to 18 months in the Gamma Lab. And it's there that Bruce was able to mix the brains and the brawn to coexist with his inner mean green machine. And though he never really explains how he was able to do this, we pretty much assumed that Bruce would live out his days as Smart Hulk. And that was, of course, until we saw him in the post-credit scene in Shang-Chi. And now we don't really know what's true anymore. Like, I thought you were supposed to be Green Man. Why are you looking regular? Okay, I don't care about Bruce. Give me the green. The green machine.
Or maybe the post-credit Hulk Bruce we saw at the end of Shang-Chi is a Skrull, and that's why he looks like that. I don't know. Did I just do a rogue theory in the middle of a big question? Maybe I did.
They're both green, and, they both transform. No one suspects Bruce. I mean, Bruce is the nice boy. He's the nice guy. Like, no one's going to expect him to be a traitor. I mean, they might expect him to destroy everything in his path, but not because he's a traitor.
Right.
It's too nice. But hey, what kind of work was Bruce doing in this Gamma Lab that led to this breakthrough? Like, could he have been trying to stabilize his gamma irradiated blood to make it safe to transfer to other people in need? Because, that was sort of what he was doing when he first was experimenting with gamma in the first place. He wanted to make the world a better place. But then, he broke a ton of shit in Sokovia.
It happens.
And we know that Bruce is well aware of just how volatile his blood is, because in the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008 with Edward Norton, who we don't talk about anymore for some reason.
We do not speak his name.
When Bruce is laying low in South America working in the bottling plant, we saw just how much he freaked out when just a drop of his blood spilled into the machinery, all those bottles. And that blood does get drank by Stan Lee, which maybe explains how he was able to exist in so many MCU films and speak to the Watchers, because he just has a hulked out brain. I think that's how he just came up with Spider-Man. I think it was just soda.
Absolutely.
It's all carbonation and gamma radiation.
Well, they used to put cocaine in a lot of sodas, too.
The good old days, Tommy. Good old days.
That could explain a lot of Marvel characters. Could have been good old-fashioned original formula Coca-Cola. Hard at work.
Oh, man. The original Four Loko.
That's right.
As well. Shout out to 2010. If you survive that, whew.
That's like an 8. That's like an 8 Loco. Yeah, for sure.
But is the scene that we see taking place in the She-Hulk clip with Jennifer Walters in the box a glimpse into that very same Gamma lab? Like, it certainly looks like a lab, and Hulk does not have his post-blip arm sling that he, had in previous films. It's possible that Hulk has finally started to heal from the injury, or this scene could be taking place in the past before the events of Endgame, when Banner was spending his 18 months in the Gamma lab. So, if Bruce was able to make his Gamma-irradiated Hulk blood more stable, then it might explain why Jennifer Walters is able to maintain her personality and her serenity when she is She-Hulk. But why would Bruce be sharing his Hulk blood with Jennifer in the first place? Well, I think it's time to explain just how to make a Hulk. Are you ready, Tomathan?
Yes, I am.
Toot toot, let us Hulk out on the Hulk train.
Yes.
Smash smash.
All aboard.
Here's how to make a Hulk, because we all know the story of how the Hulk came to be in the MCU. Bruce Banner was working on a secret super soldier program under the orders of Thaddeus Ross, because after Captain America was on the scene, people were like, we gotta make more Captain Americas. And Bruce thought he was, helping soldiers with radiation poisoning, and when he tried the serum on himself, with a little dose of gamma radiation, boom, we get the Hulk, everyone's favorite dopey murder machine. And that's just your standard Hulk creation story. He was not bitten by a radioactive pea, or a green bean.
And that's the only creation story that we have in our family, is the Hulk creation story. We're Hulkathists.
Hulkathists?
We're Hulkathists. Our Bible is the Marvel Omnibus. It's great.
That's my Bible too, so I think I'm a Hulkist. But how do you make other Hulks? Well, let's start with his not so good buddy, Abomination, because, Abomination stabbed him with his spikes one time, and after that they just weren't very good.
Yeah, that's fair though.
And of course, Abomination is Emil Blonsky, and another person working for Thaddeus Ross. And I'm starting to think that this guy is no good as a person, this Ross fellow. He's constantly on the wrong side. He's like, oh, Tony Stark is gone and the planet needs a heroes? Arrest these people, War Machine. We need all the best heroes arrested. Thanks, Ross, you dumbass. So yeah, Emil Blonsky was another person working for Thaddeus Ross in the first Hulk film who was underinformed about exactly what he was assigned to do. And Ross wanted Blonsky to track down and kill the Hulk, but, that didn't work. He got a nice visit to a tree.
George of the jungle, strong as he can be. Watch out for that.
He just got launched into it. And as a regular old special ops commander for the British Royal Marines, he was no match on his own. So Blonsky winds up getting 2 doses of the recreated super soldier serum and an injection of the Hulk's gamma irradiated blood, and boom, you got yourself an Abomination. And Abomination is not able to transform out of his monster form like Bruce does, as far as we know, as of yet. Maybe he just likes it, maybe he just constantly wants to be strong, but has a fully conscious and able to speak Emil Blonsky at the helm. So it's just sort of like a, meshing of the two, like we see with Professor Hulk, sort of. It's possible that these events may have always been rolling around in Bruce's mind, knowing that his blood can be injected into others for the purposes of making another Hulk. So maybe that's why he worked on his blood in the Gamma Lab, to make it more palatable for transfusion. And I feel like this makes a lot of sense, because we do see in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that there is this need for super soldier people. Like, Vision even touches on this in Civil War, when he talks about the introduction of Tony Stark kind of changing the world, and humanity sort of being inspired by the introduction of these heroes. So when Tony Stark was introduced, everyone wanted to make Iron Man tech. So when Captain America was introduced, everyone wanted to make more Captain Americas. And so at this point in 2023, 2024, I think that, we are going into this huge, the world wants to match the Avengers. The world wants, more quantum energy. The world wants to master gamma. People just want to be like the Avengers. And so I think this is a really great time for She-Hulk. But what about She-Hulk? Like, how did she make it to the Hulk family album? Well, in the comics, Jennifer Walters is the cousin of Bruce Banner, and she does get shot by a mobster, and in order to save her life, Bruce gives her a blood transfusion, which results in her turning into the sensational She-Hulk. And Jennifer is able to maintain her personality and skills when she is in the She-Hulk form. In fact, in the comics, she often prefers to remain in that form. And you know what? Good, because I'm all about it. I'm into tall green girls. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's on my Bumble. It's on my Christian Mingle.
How's that going for you?
I got 2 nuns to reply to me.
You got to sign up for Green People Meet, I think is what.
Green People Meet. Oh, you're right. I need to sign up for a Peas in a Pod. I think
yes,
that's what it's called. I think that's oh my God, that'd be so good for Green People. Peas in a Pod. So we don't know why Bruce has passed his Hulk abilities onto Jennifer within the MCU, but from a very brief clip that we've seen already, it seems like he is going to be mentoring her on how to control the beast within. But it is possible that his 18 months in the Gamma Lab showed him a way to make his blood more stable for transfusions to, you know, truly help those in need. And, you know, like I said before, we do have Amadeus Cho's mom in the MCU.
Oh,
I have this very strong feeling that we're probably going to get an Amadeus Cho TV show announced in the near future. And plus, like, it'd be great because, like, Marvel needs more Asian heroes. We need more of them as much as we can shove into the MCU.
Definitely.
Let's just do it, because I love representation. It's the best. So yeah, so for Amadeus Cho to be introduced into the MCU, you know, we're probably gonna be via blood transfusion of some sort. So I don't know. I just feel like it just makes sense.
And where there's Amadeus Cho, there's Hercules. And where there's Hercules, there's room for bearded, chubby white guys. So bring him on!
You would make a fantastic Hercules, dude. But honestly, like, Liam Hemsworth, if you're watching Marvel, Liam Hemsworth for Hercules. Yes. Make it happen.
Absolutely.
Because why wouldn't you do that? Thor, his brother, come on. But there's one more Hulk family member that we should bring up here, and that is the Red Hulk. When we last saw him in, you know, Black Widow, you know, dealing with the Red Room. And Red Hulk is a monstrous alter ego of our very own Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. And he's created when satellites were used to depower the Hulk from a distance during the comic events of World War Hulk, which I think was rumored that we're getting in the MCU, like World War Hulk project, which, you know, thank God. I really want to see Maestro very soon. I really want to see Maestro to be like the one that causes World War Hulk, because let's do it. Why not? Bring in the Maestro. Yo, honestly, bring in Edward Norton Hulk as the Maestro. Let's do that. Because, like, you could just have him come back for a little bit, and I'm sure you'd take the money. Sorry, I don't mean to do this, pitching stuff to Marvel. Like, hey, listen up. And the gamma and cosmic rays absorbed by these satellites were then used to power a machine that turned Thaddeus Ross into the Red Hulk. And he has very similar powers to the Hulk, with the addition that he generates a lot of heat. He's just a very hot man. It's that mustache, really. It just really... It just complements the red skin.
Oh, yes.
But it's interesting how Red Hulk was created without any of the Green Hulk's blood. So it's possible that whatever device we see Jennifer Walters hooked up to in the She-Hulk clips could potentially be transferring Hulk rays into her to cause the transformation. And if She-Hulk's creation does take place after the events of Endgame, then it's possible that all the knowledge that Bruce gained regarding the quantum realm and its scientific properties could have shown him a way to transfer the Hulk powers without any blood. So, who knows? Basically, in conclusion, however it happens, we're excited to see the Hulk family grow within the MCU. And of course, again, you know, there's Amadeus Cho. I think Rick Jones was A-Bomb for a little bit. That's our Hulks. What do you think, Tommy? How is the Hulk going to make his cousin into a She-Hulk?
So here's how I imagine we get to what we saw in the trailer. Now, we know Jennifer Walters is an attorney at law. So I think it's going to be a case of someone she put away is going to exact revenge on her and shoot her. And then Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, is going to kind of have been toying with the idea of using his blood to heal people, but he's going to have trouble extracting the blood in his Hulk form. So he's going to have to depower himself down to Bruce Banner blood and give him a Banner to Walters transfusion, which will still allow, he still has the Hulk blood inside him, which will allow her to have the ability to go back and forth and have the Hulk blood inside of her then, and then he will mentor her into how to change back and forth. And then I think ultimately he'll resettle back into his Smart Hulk form, would be my guess.
That's a really, really good theory, because, like, yeah, she is this prosecuting attorney, and she probably has a lot of enemies. She's probably put a lot of bad people into prison.
And we establish a new villain through that too, most likely. You know, we probably get another villain for our rogues gallery of the MCU, because you know we need some more villains coming down the pipe. You know, we're a little villain.
Yeah, man.
We've got a little villain shortage. Not in Spider-Man. Spider-Man, we've got a million villains, but like.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing the rumors on the vine is that Jim Carrey will be MODOK.
Oh
and
my
if that
God.
happens, the world will change because Jim Carrey would make a fantastic MODOK. He is literally. Oh my God.
A live action MODOK, which obviously would still be CGI'd, it would be insane.
And if they are assembling an intelligentsia team, Jim Carrey and Val, Julie Louis-Dreyfus together, comedy gold. Like they're going to, oh my God. But hey, just so you guys know, there's a latest Obsession shirt over at newrockstarsmerch.com inspired by Hawkeye. And it's a really, really cool design. And you can grab one right now and you can wear it while watching a brand new episode of Hawkeye featuring Haley Steinfeld, the greatest woman in the world, which is the best way to watch a show. And so you can find that shirt and tons of other great merch options inspired by Loki, Spider-Man, and other cool properties over at newrockstarsmerch.com. Look at this Spider-Man shirt. No way home! And before we dive into our bite-sized questions next, some words from the people that help us bring Big question to you. People like Napjitsu. Are you looking for a healthier energy option to help you power through that mid-afternoon sleepy feeling that I get all the time because I never get sleep? My doctors are concerned. Napjitsu has natural time-released ingredients that keep you energized for hours without the crash. Napjitsu's natural supplements were made by people who know how it feels to be tired and busy. Their patent-pending formulas have natural ingredients like B vitamins, guarana, and ginseng to give you a boost of energy without the crash later. And each Napjitsu product provides brain-boosting nootropics to unlock steady energy right when you need it. And they keep you at your peak performance all day long. And Napjitsu supplements are packaged into small packets so you can take them wherever and whenever you might need an energy boost. So whether you need to experience deeper sleep or unlock immediate lasting energy, each Napjitsu product is designed to help you achieve your optimal performance. Remember, the smart rest more and the wise rest better. Something I need to remember myself. So rest up and level up with Napjitsu. For a limited time, receive 30% off your first purchase when you go to napjitsu.com/bigquestion. So go to napjitsu.com/bigquestion for 30% off your first purchase today. That is NAPJITSU, napjitsu.com/bigquestion.
Let's talk finances. A lot of investment apps make it easy to start trading. My own personal app, Trader Tom's, allows you to buy stonks, Bitcoins, and NFTs of my own designs. I'll draw you a smiley face and put it on the internet for $1 million. But don't use my terrible app. We've been banned by the FBI. But just know, just because it's easy to do, it doesn't mean you know what you're doing. God knows, I don't know what I'm doing. I can barely read. That's what makes Wealthfront different. They make it easy to invest, and they make it easy to get smarter about investing, okay? After answering just a couple questions, Wealthfront will build you a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds in a matter of minutes. You get those low-cost index funds in the time it'll take you to watch a new Rockstars 7-minute Erik Voss Easter egg video. You're diversified by then. That's wonderful. You can also build your own portfolio with clean energy funds, crypto trusts, cannabis, tech, and hundreds of other investments. Wealthfront offers a socially responsible portfolio, a mix of funds built around human rights, climate change, sustainability, and diversity. Best of all, Wealthfront is totally automated. They do all the trading, all the rebalancing, and they even help you lower your tax bill while you invest. Let's give thanks, all right? And a couple extra $100 in your bank account. Wealthfront is trusted with over $27 billion in assets, helping nearly 500,000 people build their wealth. Get your first $5,000 managed for free, for life, by going to wealthfront.com/bigquestion to start building your wealth and get your first $5,000 managed for free, for life. Go to wealthfront.com/bigquestion. That's wealthfront.com/bigquestion to start building your wealth. That's wealthfront.com/bigquestion.
All right, yes, now it is time for our bite-sized question. Tomathan, I got a question for you. How did Makkari become deaf if the Eternals are essentially robots? Or was she created like that? And this is from Crispy Chrissy on Discord. Crispy Chrissy, I'm looking at you. Thank you for always supporting us on Discord and just holding it down. Thank you, Chrissy. You're wonderful.
In the recent film Eternals, which is not just the title, but also the running time.
Oh, you got him.
Got him!
Here's a little bit of advice. Anytime Richard Madden goes into his very sad Scottish voice, you can go take a piss, because he's going to tell a sad story. That's just a little spoiler-free review of the movie for me. In the recent film Eternals, one of the crew of the heroes we meet is Makari. She's delightful.
I love her.
She's the one with super speed, as well as having the distinction of being the first deaf hero in the MCU. In the comics, Makari was originally a man who was not deaf. At some point in the 21st century, Makari gets his mind wiped by Sprite. God, Sprite, why are you always effing things up?
Yeah, Sprite was really messed up during that, when she wiped everybody's memories. Ugh.
In a series of events, Makari becomes a prophet for the dreaming celestial, aka Tiamat. Tiamat uses Makari to tell the other Eternals, humans, and deviants that it's awake and is preparing for its judgment, which is what I do every morning in my house. I wake up and I go, I'm awake and I'm preparing for my judgment.
If I was ever a dad, that's how I would be. I'd be like, I have awoken. Time for judgment, children.
I just like to keep people on their toes. They're like, what is he judging? Oh my God, what time did he go to bed? He was playing Phil Collins in his room till 5 a.m. and I kept hearing cans opening.
It's just the Tarzan soundtrack.
For one so small, you can seem so strong. All right. It's also at this time that Makari rekindles his relationship with Cersei. Cute! But then Cersei finds out from the dreaming celestial that the Horde is coming. aka life-destroying alien insects, not my favorite, and that Makari must be protected at all costs. Protect Makari at all costs.
It's Thanksgiving season, so life-destroying alien insects are coming to town.
Well, guess what? This ain't Game of Thrones, but Cersei still fails, okay? Makari is killed, so Cersei then transmutes her own body into a perfect replica of Makari so that the dreaming celestial can keep doing its thing. Tiamat speaks to the fulcrum. Earth is spared. The end, right? Well, wrong. The dreaming celestial winds up being killed by an exterminator. The death of Tiamat affects the newly resurrected Makari greatly since they were so closely linked. Makari then transforms into a woman and goes to great lengths to try and revive the dreaming celestial. She's unsuccessful in that effort, and the amount of power she uses trying to reach Tiamat causes her to lose her ability to speak and hear. She also loses her telepathic abilities. But that's the comics. A question that, wasn't really what you asked. In the MCU, we can only guess why Arishem designed Makari to be deaf. Maybe he's just evil. Maybe he forgot to give her hearing. I don't know. Remember, the wills and machinations of the mighty Celestials is simply unknown to us mere mortals, and how dare you even question what they did. God, I'll pray for you, Crispy, because
I'll just pray
Arishem is not going to be happy about this.
Hey, don't pray too hard, or else you might lose your hearing.
That actually happened to me right when I made my first communion. I prayed so hard I went deaf for a couple months. We got another question?
Yes. All right. So here's another one. Is Morbius an actual vampire? And this is from Frogs Unleashed on Twitter. Unleash the frogs!
Yeah, it's in the title. Oh my God. Next question. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, unleash Frogman onto the MCU, please, because I'm a huge Frogman stan.
Yeah.
We need Frogman. Jack Black Frogman. Unleash him. We need to see it.
You're in the Croak crew. All right.
The Croak crew.
Well, he is often referred to as the living vampire. Morbius is not a vampire in the traditional supernatural capital D Dracula sense. However, Dracula is a character in Marvel Comics, so there certainly are true vampires that exist in the Marvel universe. As we've seen in the trailer for the upcoming Sonyverse film Morbius, Dr. Michael Morbius has a rare blood disease, and in an effort to cure that problem, he winds up infusing himself with the DNA of a bat.
I heard from leaks that he heard that he had cooties from touching a girl, so he went through all this bat DNA trouble.
The medical process for that is circle, circle, dot, dot.
Oh, he didn't hear about that one.
Now you've got a cootie shot, inject yourself with bat DNA, then go have a really great day. So as I was saying, he winds up infusing himself with a little bit of bat DNA, and this has some side effects and gives him a lot of powers similar to a vampire-adjacent abilities. He has superhuman strength, speed, agility, and stamina, which is just another day in the life of Tom Bechtold. He can also heal quickly, much like a real vampire. He's got fangs and claws, badass. He can glide through the air over short distances. Not fly, mind you, but glide. He's a living vampire, so he's not the undead. He has a beating heart, which is good, but he also has a hunger for blood, which he must satiate. And while sunlight doesn't just dust him away, he is very sensitive to it. But just ask me and any of my fellow Irish men and women with red hair and pale white skin, and we're all a little scared of the sun. So it doesn't make you a vampire, it just makes you unappealing aesthetically. He's also been known to turn people into pseudo-vampires by draining them of all their blood. He has control over his vampire babies, and when they are killed, they turn to dust. I mean, come on! That's total vampire behavior. What are we doing here?
Right?
Stan, Jack, pick a lane. Is he a vampire? Is he not?
Right?
I mean, listen, the 70s were a crazy time, as we said, and Morbius was created in 1971, a time when superhero stories were falling out of fashion and horror comics were all the rage. The comics had to adapt, and that's why vampire-esque Morbius was created. Other horror-based characters that Marvel introduced at the time include Blade, Man-Thing, Ghost Rider, and Moon Knight. And it's also around this time that the aforementioned Dracula shows up in the comics.
Ooh.
Dracula, I want to suck your blood. So Morbius is not a technical vampire, but he checks all the boxes that a vampire would, so he basically is one. So you know what? Get off my back, okay? I tried my best for you.
If a vitamin D deficiency is all you need to be a vampire, then I'm one too.
Yeah, exactly. If an insatiable taste for human blood, really pale skin, and hesitancy to go out in the sun or leave your house entirely is what it takes to be a vampire, then you can just call me Baby Drac, because I am...
Baby Drac? Oh my god.
Well, that's it for bite-sized questions. You know what time it is now, baby boy.
It's time for the box to scraps.
Box of scraps.
Box of scraps. B-O-X of scraps. Well, Jonathan, if you had a Hulk inside of you, what would be the smallest pet peeve that would send you into a hulking rage?
Interesting, because I am so easily annoyed. I would say, I guess this isn't really like a small pet peeve, but this is my huge pet peeve, and that is people who purposely play dumb at the airport and act as though it's the first time they've ever traveled in order to not comply to the rules of the airport. Like
people do that?
Every person does that at the airport. They pack things in their bag that they shouldn't, and then they go, "Oh, I didn't realize you couldn't have a switchblade in your carry-on. Oh, wait, I can't have a full bottle of smart water going through the X-ray thing." And these are people that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So there's I refuse to believe that they're all, I give an 80-year-old man a pass if he forgets the rules or is moving a little slow. We have to respect and take care of our elders. But if you're in the range of 25 to 70 and you're walking around the airport like it's a space station you've never been on before, I don't believe you. I think you're playing the smartest game in a free market world, which is to play dumb so that people give you what you want. But I'm talking like the family of five that rushes up when they call boarding group 1. And then the lady's like, "You guys are boarding group 7. And then by the time they do that, 9,000 other people line up. I could talk about this for literally hours. Or when the plane lands, and we all know the protocol is you deplane in order of the row that you're in, and there's always like 7 people that just start inching their way up the aisle because they're impatient. And it's not because they have a flight to catch. They just don't comply to the social rules of airplanes, which are already stressful enough. Anyway, MT, if you had a Hulk inside you, what would be the smallest pet peeve that would send you into a rage?
Exactly that. No, I actually have never been on a plane in a long time. Like the last time I was on a plane, I was like 6 or 7. So like I don't have any plane experience.
When you fly out to LA, I'll fly to Massachusetts and fly with you.
Yes.
We'll hold hands during takeoff.
Tell me what not to do so I don't end up being one of those lost people.
I'm like, MT, stop trying to board the plane. The gate is closed. MT, you can't go in the cockpit. MT, you can't have a loaded gun on the plane.
Oh my God, no. That would be terrible. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people leave a Marvel movie when there are 1 to 2 post-credit scenes left. And I'm like, bro, I just wanted to Hulk out and be like, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down.
Insanity.
There's something coming. All right, and like
insanity. I have a friend who's like, you can just watch this on YouTube, and I'm like, Okay, man. Well, you can
Why
watch
would you do that?
You can watch a lot of things on YouTube that are better seen. You just paid $25 to see this movie in LA, so
You're watching this like part of the MCU. Are you not interested in what comes next? Why are you leaving before like the very end of the movie?
Empty, I could do a 3-hour show with you where I just answer this question. We could just go back and forth about, which I think is just the Family Guy. You know what really grinds my gears? I think we're just doing, you know what really grinds my gears? People that tweet things where they're bragging, but then they refer to themselves in a disparaging way where they're like, my drunk ass won $9,000 at a casino last weekend. But it's like because they say my drunk ass, we're supposed to be like, oh, they're humble.
It's like, oh no. All I hear is, oh, if I was sober, I would have won $30,000 now.
Look, I added a secondary gripe to that because I'm having so much fun complaining. So
if there was a Box of Scraps award, I would give it to you because you got the best answers.
Oh, same. Right back at you. Right back at you. All right.
Well, that is it for this episode of Big Question. I, of course, want to thank Tommy Bechtold for joining us. I missed you, Tommy. Please follow him on Twitter at Tommy Bechtold. He's hilarious. He's a very great gentleman. And you guys know Tommy. You guys know Tommy more than me. What the f*** am I saying? But you can follow me at MasterTainment on Twitter if you want to see me tweet some really weird shit and wild theories. But more importantly, please follow New Rockstars wherever you are on the internet, especially on YouTube where you can hit that notification bell so you can get notifications every time we upload a video. And hey, go to newrockstarsmerch.com. We got some cool ass shirts, man. Yeah. Don't miss out. Don't get some FOMO, man, because hey, man, I get compliments on this all the time. So please pick up your swag at newrockstarsmerch.com. And hey, if you want to continue the New Rockstars conversation, our New Rockstars Discord server is now open to the public. And we've made some sweet new channels available to non-patrons so you can be part of the broader community of New Rockstars fans on Discord. So if you're over 18 and interested, please search for New Rockstars Discord server and join in on the talk because we be talking about nerd shit all day long. I need to pop by one of these days and say hi because I do love me some Discord convo. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We genuinely do love you. Please stay safe, and all right, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.